What is extremely light, but even the strongest man cannot hold for over 5 minutes? I'm going to leave you with that, and then afterwards I shall answer that extremely smart question. So, greetings everyone, I'm Herman Klutzer, and yes, I am alone today, but I'd just like to welcome you to this wonderful episode of another 21st Century Youth. In the past weeks, we've had some fun, we've had some talks. It's quite a journey we've been on so far with 21st Century Youth. Last week, we had Anushka and Jordan. I hope you enjoyed that Uno Flip. It was nice, just a nice chilled program. So today, I thought I would like to talk about maybe some topics that parents and teenagers don't really want to address or have addressed and just not really elaborated about. So I just want to say through this whole program, it's just my opinion and my personal experience. Really, obviously, I can't speak for every teenager out there. That's not right. But I'm just going to speak from my side and maybe my input, what I feel us as teenagers could do differently or what parents can do differently towards us teenagers maybe. So the first topic that I would like to start off with is smart devices, our phones, our laptops, TVs. So obviously my generation, I'd say we grew up with the evolution of the phone. Basically, like if you were born from the year 2000 and maybe before 2006, I'd say between that gap maybe and maybe 1998 to 2006, you basically started off with the smartphones. I don't really know what the exact date is that the first Apple was launched, but I'll put it on the screen, then you guys will know. But so from that era, the phones just kept evolving, just kept growing, kept getting bigger, just more smart with every next phone that came out. So I would say there's quite a big barrier between households with just the phone. Just the smallest thing in the house can maybe make a whole family crumble and fall, basically. I mean, with a phone, you block yourself from your parents. You're just always looking at your phone. If I'm just on my phone now, I'm talking to you guys right now, but I'm not engaged because I'm just on my phone. And I mean, that's a daily thing that we all go through. Parents want to talk to their kids. They want to open up maybe. And then it's just, how was school? No, it was fine. What you do today? Nothing. So what you learn? Is there anything interesting? Not at all. And then you just go to your room, stuff like that. I mean, not every kid is like that, but majority of us, I mean, we've all done it. We've all just, on those days, unfortunately those days, and you just, no, it's nothing. I don't want to talk. And then also with parents, like a good thing is they trying to maybe Google some stuff that they can do to help out with the phones being a problem. And so I just feel regarding just the phones that we should try to limit our time. I mean, on our phones is even a thing about how much time you're on your phone daily. So I feel if we should just start cutting that off and maybe just grow further and evolve in the sense of just letting go of our phones and all that stuff. So that's one thing that the first topic what I feel about smart devices. Now, moving on, second topic that I thought would be a really good thing to address is getting them to study. I mean, we all know us as teenagers or even students now, studying is really a thing that we do not like to do. It is your time that you have to put aside for math, being, and science and social studies and all those topics that you really don't want to do. So first thing when it comes to getting them to study is we are moody. That just is one thing that all us teenagers are when it comes to that. We are moody. You get those, golden children, the teacher's pet, respectfully said to those who are one of those who love to study, who love to do their work. But so we are moody. We don't want to do that. We don't want to put our own time. We'd rather go kick the ball outside. We'd rather go play football. We'd rather play Xbox or games beyond our phones. So that is something that regarding getting them to study, we do a lot. Whereas I feel parents should maybe just be a little patient about that. I mean, obviously, you can have, I would say, have a talk with your children and maybe talk with them about how your school days were, how you put your time aside to study, and then use the example of, and look at me now. Now I'm doing this, now I'm doing that. I can provide for my family from the education that I got and the time that I put aside. Now, the thing with what us teenagers, okay, I'll say me, but obviously us teenagers, a lot can relate to me is we like to procrastinate a lot. We say, okay, I'm going to study, and then eventually we just never get to it, and then so on and so on. No, I'll get to it and get to it. And so as we all know, we never get to it. So getting them to study, getting us to study, I would say patience is one thing, but not too long. Because like I said, we procrastinate. So I would say maybe have like a nice talk with your kids to, just guide them and say, this is what I did. And this is what you can learn from me. And this is what you can grow with. So another topic, I'm going to just keep going. I'm going to keep going. Another topic that maybe is maybe not linked to year for parents, or maybe for us that we don't want to, say, okay, I am that child, but the aggressive child, the aggressive child. So obviously, parents have had challenges with their child where they just don't want to do anything. You grab them and then they get all aggressive, and or in the shop or anything, they're just aggressive. Or unfortunately, there has been cases where teenagers maybe want to hit their parents back, stuff like that. So obviously with that, there was obviously a point in time where they were aggressive and it didn't go unchecked, you see. So it's like I did something wrong now. My parents didn't discipline me, and then I can think, okay, no, so I can keep doing this. Because every time I'm going to do it, they're just going to do nothing. So it goes unchecked, if you understand what I'm saying. So I feel with that, uh, discipline and like how I got a paksla, paksla. You get a hiding. Some parents would maybe want to send their kids to therapy. My opinion, me, home included, don't. That's just my opinion. I feel therapy is really, why do they need to go to therapy if they should be able to talk with you or their siblings or however or whoever, the next door neighbor? So why go to therapy? Why pay money and just for them to say, I hear your thoughts and your heartbeats, and I'm joking. I don't really know how therapy works. I've never gone. But what worked for me, is hiding that I did something wrong. The cost of me doing something wrong was pain. So I don't want to do that again because I know what's going to wait for me. So I believe with the aggressive child, just a little bit of, and obviously respectfully said, put your foot down, show them who's boss, who's the parent in the house, because eventually they will just also walk over you. So with the aggressive child, what I'd like to add to that is disobedience. Uh, Disobedience, where can I start? Say now parents ask them to do something and they say no. And the parents did nothing. Again, unfortunately, sorry to say that some parents, they did nothing. And then eventually they just keep doing that wrong thing where they just gotta keep saying no. Like again, with the aggressive child, so with the disobedient child, I just feel that you should rather be again very firm and very strict in the sense of I'm your parent, you are my child, you not my parent. I remember there was a lot of times in my days of being a child now, then my parents were like, Mano, wie is die kind hier so? Wie is die kind? Huh? Is ek jou kind? Ek mos nie jou kind nie. And then I learned the hard way. But and then I never did it again. So with disobedience, I believe there should rather be how you say, not a punishment, but discipline and not therapy. Because respectfully, then it's like they'll keep doing it. They'll keep saying, okay, no, worst thing is I'm just going to go to therapy and my parents pay for it. And then I can just keep being quiet the whole session and then boom, that's done. And then eventually they just keep going and keep going and keep going. So here's another topic. I feel both sides have done, parents and us teenagers and kids, is lying. Lying is a very, very, very big thing that can maybe pull families apart or pull relationships apart from a child to their parent. I feel that everyone does lie. Us kids, if we did something wrong, we know we might get in trouble now. So we would lie to not get in trouble. That's a simple example of a small little lie. Parents, they have this thing where It's like a protective lie. They call it a white lie. They lie in order to keep you safe, or in order for you not to go do that, because they know what's down that path. So if they like know, say now, simple example, you want to go to the rugby field on Saturday, then your parents will be like, no, you can't go, this and that will happen, and you can't go, you must clean your room, or something bad, very bad will happen. It's a lie because you know, okay, it's going to be fine, I'm being with my friends or stuff like that, but then they lie to keep you at home because they know what will happen, in the sense of there'll be bad company around you, people will be drinking, people will be smoking, fights will break out. You might not be in the fight, but you could get affected by the fight. Like someone throws a bottle, and then the bottle can hit you. For instance, that's just a small example where I feel some can relate to me uh, with lying. But I feel like lying should honestly not be a thing, because you should be able to trust your parents that they will tell you the truth. That you, my parent, you won't lead me in the wrong direction, and you will only be honest with me. Because I mean, if eventually you find out your parents have been lying to you, that trust will never be brought back to the place that it was. It will just always be, oh, but is mommy telling me the truth now? Is daddy, is he really honest with me now? And the same with the kids. The same with the kids. I could say I was out by my friend, and we were just inside the whole time. We were having fun, pool, and then my parents find out, say now maybe 2 weeks later, I was at a party. My parents will never trust me again to go to that friend's house, or just to say, no, mommy, daddy, you can trust me. I won't be doing this. It's just, maybe eventually, it takes years. It takes years, people, where families have to regain and rebuild that trust that's been lost. So I would say just rather tell the truth from the beginning. Lying doesn't get you anywhere, but in in trouble. I remember my dad always taught me lying and stealing is like hand in hand, because you lie to get out of it. Say now you start stealing something, eventually lying comes with it, and then you have to lie to get out of it. It's just a small little thing that I remember of my dad now that hit me. Uh, so next topic is constantly complaining. Constantly complaining. I feel both kids and parents do it. I still feel both kids and parents do it. Parents, we obviously know. They complain to us because we are obviously in the wrong of, you're not cleaning your room, you're not doing the dishes, you didn't take the rubbish out, stuff like that. Your parents just, I mean, that also builds character in the sense of uh, discipline. Eventually, you go out, you know, you always have to clean your bed, you wash up after yourself, you take out the rubbish even if no one else. That builds fundamentals and morals for you in your future, because eventually you're going to be living alone, and you know you need to know how to do these things. So with that, obviously our minds in that moment, we're not in the mood, because again, the phone or the Xbox, we just want to be on the phone and the Xbox and not want to have to do this stupid stuff like uh, dishes and stuff like that, for example. So with complaining, the parents, we obviously don't understand it when our parents do that, unfortunately. With us, we complain that they are complaining. That's what we do. You're like, yeah, mommy, you know, moan out in it or stuff like that. I mean, that's unfortunately what we do now. Uh, where I feel like, again, we should just be more open and talk. And if I respect, that's where respect comes in. If you respect your parents enough, you won't complain to them. And I mean, if you respectfully said as well, because respect goes both ways, if you respect your kids, then you know there's no need to shout to them, and that they will do what you ask of them as well. So complaining is unfortunately something that we, both sides, really do have a big part in. I mean, I've complained as well that uh, I must, like, with the instance of the dishes, stuff like that. Or, yo, when we were kids, then there was one night you, one night me. But now I've been 2 nights in a row. It was his turn. Now you must do it. So, I mean, like, simple example like that. Now, with that, my next part is the siblings rivalry. So I got a brother. He's 3 years older than me. Yeah, he's 3 years older than me. But we luckily grew up on the, not the same level, but like, I respect you, you're my brother. And yes, you are older, but like, it's like we grew up as friends almost, whereas other siblings are 10 years apart. So my brother and I, we were luckily close enough. But what always happened was, eventually I did something wrong, we both get a hiding. He did something wrong, we both get a hiding. But unfortunately for him, I was the one who did most of the doing wrong. So we both got lots of hidings eventually. Or not eventually, all the time. But what happens with siblings rivalry, without even knowing it, it's almost like the parents pick sides in a way. And that you're from my experience, I remember that as well. Like it was like I was with my mom, my bro was with my dad. Like, it's not that they intentionally say, okay, you did nothing wrong, he's fine. But that's also a thing. Like, parents shouldn't do that, where, in the sense of, uh, they're both in the wrong, but just because he's the more respectful child, the child who listens more, I don't have to punish him. It's wrong. Parents should respectfully also treat their children equal. Otherwise, eventually, one will feel he's not worth it enough. Your mommy and daddy don't even love me enough. They just always scowl me. They just always put me to my room. I always get in trouble. So I feel parents should treat their children equally, man. And with the sibling rivalry, I mean, if they see, obviously, that is just something that every household goes through. Every siblings have that rival with the either elder brother or younger brother. But I mean, if they see that, the parents should address it. I mean, I've talked with my mom a lot that I'm like, yo, mommy, daddy just is always covering for Junior and stuff like that. And, it's always like this. It's always me. It's always me. And then my mom would talk with me and make me see it differently. But then, I mean, my mind being young then, I'll still be like, nah, it's wrong. It's wrong. So I feel there's always love there, though, with the siblings. But yeah, I feel like with that, parents should also just maybe address it and see that this is where I can have my input and just a little bit of an effect, just a little bit. That little bit helps in the long run. But yeah, my brother and I, we still on and off now and then. I mean, that's how brothers are. So, with my next topic that I would like to address is that silent treatment phase that all of us teenagers do. Whereas we just block out our parents, we just slam doors. I'm guilty of that part. My brother as well. Where you just don't want to talk to your parents respectfully. It's not that you hate them. It's just that you know what they're about to say. You know it's either gonna be, yo, look how you look right now, you're so untidy, or look at your room, or the little things, and then that thing just spoils your whole day, or just ticks you off to the point of, I don't want to love you anymore. So that silent treatment, parents, what I would say is be patient. Be patient with your kids, but don't push them. Don't push them either. Don't be like, yo, bribe me, bribe me, but then obviously you know why I'm not talking with you. I'm either going through my own things. Puberty. Puberty is a big thing. I don't want to address anything there. Like, now, no, mommy, I don't want to talk. Or no, daddy. It's things we go through, but just know we don't hate you. It's just our own battles in our minds that we all do have to overcome individually. If there's something that has to be brought to the table, like, mommy, daddy, I really need your help with this now, then there's that moment. Then that is that moment. But there is just battles we all have to overcome individually to find ourselves. That's also what the silent treatment is also about, where we're just taking some time to find ourselves. Maybe, who am I? Who am I? Home included. What do I do? What do I like? Am I gonna let everyone always just make me angry? Because I had that problem as well. Everyone just always makes me angry. There's just some very reasonable moments when I am angry nowadays where it's fully it's fully reasonable. But I mean, so don't feel like your kids are just absolutely blocking you out. They want nothing to do with you more. It's just a small phase that we all go through just to find ourselves. Now, with that finding ourselves, and the next point that I'm coming to now is the confidence lacking phase as well. So all of us young people, we grow up. Not everyone is unfortunately gifted with confidence. I don't think confidence is really just something you have. You build it. Like, I remember in the very first episode of 21st Century Youth, I addressed and said why I'm more confident than others, and I gave my whole backstory. I've said this so many times, but like, so that's how it was with me. But with others, they may be in a group of friends there, and now they literally just became friends. So now they first finding themselves as well. What type of friends like do I associate myself with? Who are my friends? That's also how you find yourself, and then your friends give you confidence. But then, I mean, if your friends must now break you down in that group, then your confidence just drops. You become this shy type of person. You never want to go out. So I feel like parents should just say, like, motivate the kids. Rather go make new friends. Go into this friend group. You don't have to do this. You can do that. Find what they like and what they can build confidence in with themselves. So that's what I want to say regarding confidence, where it's a big part and it takes time. It takes time. No one can get confident just like that. I mean, I'm 18 now. I feel I'm at my most confident, obviously now because I'm only 18. But it took years, man. It took years. But I remember it's because I told my parents what I like. I said, I like drama. I like being on the stage. I like acting. I like doing this. And they pushed and motivated me in that direction. Like, nee, my goodness, staan saam met jou. Hy's jou droom. Jy moet dit doen. You see? So they motivated me. Then I thought, yo, my parents got my back. I don't need anyone else. And confidence just kept building. You understand? So I feel parents, let show your kids you believe in their dreams and what they tell you, and listen to them. Be very, very patient when you listen to them, so that you can hear what their dreams are, and that way they feel my parents are with me. I don't need anyone else. Confidence just keeps building. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. It's like a poem. It's like a poem. Now my last point. I feel this addresses me a lot, but others also in a complete opposite way. I'm gonna end off with this one. Improper eating habits. So you see, some kids, unfortunately, like me, we loved every single snack that we could get. We always wanted to go for seconds and thirds. And I'm not saying my parents did anything wrong. That's just also me not listening, because they did always tell me, Herman, lieverste klein porties, maar baie van die klein porties. So small portions and a lot. But you know, you want of everything. So that plate was like this, and then the second plate was exactly like the first plate, and then you still got your pudding, and then your second helping of pudding, and all different unhealthy snacks, gas, cooling. So I mean, I like that. So that's what I always did. But unfortunately, there's those kids' parents. You should know this, that you must be very how can I say this, quick to analyze what's happening, where they just don't want to eat, where they just shut everything off. No, I'm not hungry, and they start losing weight. I mean, that's a very, very dark phase that they are going through, in the sense of maybe being depressed, or the silent treatment, stuff like that, confident lacking phases as well. But you should be very quick to react, to the sense of even just giving them a little bit here, a little bit there, but let them eat, please. I mean, we all need to eat to stay alive, basically, is also what I'm trying to say. But the improper eating habits, it's just a little thing that I wanted to add at the end for everyone listening. So in the beginning, I asked you a very cool riddle. I'm just going to read it one more time for you. And sorry that I'm looking at my phone. I know I addressed this first. So, what is extremely light, but even the strongest man cannot hold for over 5 minutes? Even myself, I'm a very strong person, but I can't hold it for 5 minutes, maybe 30 seconds max. It is breath, my people. If you got it, please let me know that you got it. Give a comment or something. Just let me know that you got it. If you didn't, then you are with me, because I also didn't know until I saw the answer. But yeah, that's actually very cool. Very cool. What is extremely light, but even the strongest man cannot hold for over 5 minutes? It is breath. So, y'all people, I'd like to thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. If you do enjoy these programs, please let me know. Let us know. Give a comment, because that's how we see you respond to us. So maybe you can give some ideas of what you would like to see in the future. You can always give ideas through. We'll always be looking at comments. You can also give a like, please. You can give a like. Subscribe to the Crazy Kick channel as well. All the pastors that also preach on here, that give the word, so that everyone can see it continuously over all the internet. Please just enjoy as well. And thank you for always watching and supporting. I love everyone that watches. Thank you. See you next time.